Good evening and welcome to you all. And I thought we must maybe do a little bit of a different show tonight. And the reason why, it's in front of ahead of a new long weekend. And a lot of people will just be relaxing at home. And some of those that is religious are enjoying Passover, and some is enjoying the Ramadan. So I thought that let's maybe do some recap on monthly charts and just see what is happening with some interesting indexes and commodities and a few leading shares, and just giving us an idea where we are in the world. So, okay, let's run off and start with the gold price. Now, the gold price in dollar is, and this is especially, and tonight will all be monthly charts. Sometimes I will maybe switch to a weekly if necessary. The monthly chart is more than useful tonight. So let's have a look here. Gold. First of all, what do we see? Since 2012, we see this left shoulder, beautiful head, and we're working on the right shoulder. Now, let's just have a look here. Where's the neckline? Neckline sits at, there you are, there's the neckline. Now, this neckline only presents a beautiful forward formation for ongoing strength of 2019. So above 2019, we can see a nice strong move in the gold price. Remember, if we look at monthly charts, that means by the end of the month, let's say for instance now in April, we want the price to close above 2019. Let's make it 2020. And if that is materializing, then we can say, okay, we've got an inverse head and shoulder in place. And where's the target? I just want to show you where I get that from. It's always from the bottom of the right shoulder. Now, I'm always on the conservative side. Some guys will use that and say, all right, I will make that of my target from the bottom of the right shoulder to the neckline, and they will extend it, and that will give them a target, a conservative target of 2,234. For me personally, I will say I will make use of the lower end there. And the reason why, because I've seen the market over the years never gives you exactly what you want. It sometimes just turn around just before the level that you are looking for. So for me, if the inverse head and shoulders start to play out and we want the conservative target and we do this projection, it can take us to 2,192. Let's make it 2,195 because we're talking monthly charts here. If the formation plays out in full, let's do the conservative one again. What can we see here? We can say, all right, the price will probably go from the head, the neckline, and if we project it to the upper band, there you are, it can take the price all the way up to 2,451. So that's a nice move. So that's the big thing, but over the years we know that when we wait for a formation, never preempt it, and rather wait for this neckline to turn into a support, and then we will be happy. Let us look at the platinum price. Now, the platinum group of metals, of course, a lot of guys will say, Frans, but just look at the palladium price, because the palladium price are the metal that helped the platinum miners a lot. Yes, I know. But if you compare our basket of platinum group metals, then you will see that platinum and some of the other minerals, but mostly platinum, is one of those minerals that actually contributes the most to the bigger companies like Anglo Plat and Impala Plat to their profits. Yes, I know palladium does help them a lot. The big basket is platinum. So let's have a look at platinum. And we just saw an inverse head and shoulder in gold. So what do we see here? Let's do the same thing. And remember, once again, this is a monthly chart. And I see that everybody is talking about super cycles in commodities. So what they say is, in the past, when the mines printed money and they made good money, they've spent the money on projects that cost them a lot, and they used a lot of capex to fund that project. But what we've seen nowadays, that some of these mines sit on heaps of cash and they don't spend it. So what they say to themselves is, we want to spend it only when market tells us that's the right time to buy. And Mr. Fruneman actually taught us all a brilliant lesson. You know what? He bought all those platinum counters that he wanted. He bought them when the platinum price was rock bottom and all those mines were struggling. That was the exact time to buy them. So let's have a look at the platinum price here. Once again, what do we see here? A left shoulder, a massive head, and we're working on the right shoulder. Now, that is very bullish because everybody will say, yes, Frans, the neckline sits at 1206 and it can really bounce off there and it can maybe, let's take the full target. I'm not going to waste some time to show you where you get the conservative target. I did show it on the gold price chart. Now, if it plays out the platinum, it can take it to 1482. As you guys know me over years, I always watch on the other side and I say, okay, everything looks rosy, but what do I also see? And if I do this and I take that away, take that away, and suddenly I use the same line, I move it across down there. Remember, everybody is bullish now, eh? Everybody in the world is bullish on commodities. And I've seen when everybody is bullish, you must sometimes be a little bit careful and cautious and say, listen, what can go wrong? A friend of mine always say, what can go wrong? And that is the big thing. Now, if you look at the platinum price here, suddenly, instead of that massive, beautiful inverse head and shoulder, you see a head and shoulder formation. And as we all know, a head and shoulder formation is negative. And the reason why I want to show this chart, remember the Brent oil price rallied all the way to 130 and now it's starting to pull back. And I can assure you, if the Brent oil price starts to pull back below 90 and 88, suddenly these commodities will come under pressure because the oil price was the big driver of these commodities. Let's have a look here. There's the left shoulder, there's the head, and there's the right shoulder. And what I don't like about the platinum price, can you see this little line that I'm drawing in here? That line sits at the level of 1,000. And every time that the platinum price gets above 1,000, it's a beautiful rally. But look for how long it traded below this, and we are below that again. So first thing, be positive on the platinum price. We need to see a platinum price above 1,000. But on the other hand, where's this neckline? The support of this neckline sits at 960. Now, if that's the case, if 960 turns into a resistance, and especially this level of 934, what can we see? We can see this head and shoulder formation maybe trigger an ugly sell-off and take the platinum price all the way down to, can you believe that, 672. And then suddenly you will realize that all the platinum players can maybe come under huge pressure. So there you are. Well, the next chart that I would like to look at is the Nasdaq. Now, the Nasdaq is, you know, as we all know, that is the beauty of the beauty. Nothing can go wrong with the technology counters. Everybody loved them. And, of course, nothing can go wrong there. I've showed this chart a few months ago, and what worried me was these beautiful rallies. I mean, it was a fantastic rally, but it gave some lamp formations. And suddenly, what do we see? We see a high, it goes down, it saw a little bounce, and we're on the brink of giving us a lower low. But what do I also see? I just want to show you here. I see also a head and shoulder developing. And that, of course, is negative if it plays out. So for me personally, I want the index, the Nasdaq index, I want it to, there you are, I just want to draw that so that you can easily see that. There you are. I thought if it can break above this right shoulder's head, and that is 14,880, if it can break above 14,880, this right shoulder will become obsolete. And then we can see a beautiful new momentum to the top, and everybody will be happy. But on the other hand, this head and shoulder worries me. And where's the neckline? The support of this neckline sits at 13,960. Below 13,960, this head and shoulder can suddenly give us some selling in the Nasdaq. And where can it take it to? It can take it through all the way down to, there you are, 13,290. And just keep in mind that this index at 2020, when the COVID started and everybody started pumping money in, it was an index of 7,700. There's many supports down there. I gave you that level. There's the next one, 12,971, 12,230, and even 11,020. So this index really comes under pressure. There's a long way down to the bottom. Well, I want to show you something else. If you look at the Nasdaq over the long term, and this is the beauty. If you look at it, in 1999, everybody was worried when 2000 struck that the index will come under pressure. Yes, it did. But look what these indexes are doing over time. If it comes under pressure, it sometimes go and find a previous support. Now look what happened. In 2000, it came under pressure. And where did it found new support? Right at that point at 1996's levels. When problem started in 2008, if you think about it, where did it find a support? Right there at the bottom, close to the levels of 880. That was the bottom of 2002. Look at this market now. And you must think for yourself, where is the previous support? And that makes me worry. So don't just believe that if you buy an index and you just hang on to it, it cannot go lower and find a previous support. If this is the case, we can easily find these levels that I've just mentioned that can come into play. So if you want to buy, wait for an index to be really bombed out, and then you start accumulate over time. Well, thank you so much for visiting this first part. We'll carry on with the other part just after a few minutes. Visit our website www.fransdeklerk.com, and we will chat again. And of course, enjoy your long weekend.